Oh my god. No heart attack.
Hey everyone, Thor here out at Vail after we just had a pretty monster snowstorm, and we are hitting the Blue Sky Basin area. And today we're going to be talking about how the weather conditions are, how the trails are running, what's open, and also what makes Blue Sky Basin so special within the Vail area and why most people don't actually end up ever coming back here. But without further ado, let's start hitting the trail.
So I spent the other day riding at Vail Mountain after a huge storm dropped about 10 to 13 inches. It was last Friday, and honestly, it may have been one of the best days of the season. I know I say that every video now, but it really was insane how much snow they had. And Vail is already massive on a normal day, but after we got all this, the terrain just opened up everywhere. Blue Sky Basin was more unlocked than I had seen all season long, and that was great because that's where we spent the day filming. And in my opinion, it's actually one of the best parts of the entire mountain. But the funny thing is, a lot of people never even go there. Most people that are visiting, they tend to be tourists. They ride the front side of Vail. You've got the classic runs dropping into Vail Village, the groomers off mid-Vail, and the stuff around Lion's Head. And yeah, it is really fun, but it also gets packed and skied out, and it kind of can get icy as well. Meanwhile, on the other side of the mountain, where Blue Sky Basin, it's just sitting there with incredible terrain. The tree runs, as you're seeing, are incredible. The natural features with the cliff jumps, wide powder fields where you won't run into a single person. And when you get a day with those 10 inches of snow, that whole zone turns into a playground. It's not crazy steep terrain, but it's just incredibly fun to ride. The trees are spaced well and the snow stacks up nicely, and there are little rollers and features everywhere. It's the kind of terrain where you just explore for hours and you still, at the end of the day, feel like you haven't found everything. And the thing that stops a lot of people from riding Blue Sky Basin is simple. You actually have to traverse across the back bowls to get there. And if you've never been to Vail before, it can feel like a journey. You have to head over to the legendary Vail back bowls, ride through the massive open powder fields, which I will say on this day, it had rained like a week before, so it wasn't actually the best snow despite everything dropping. But then you have to keep going further out until you reach Blue Sky. And that's honestly part of the magic of Vail. The mountain is so big that the best terrain usually isn't the easiest terrain to reach. And if you're willing to make that trip across the bowls, you get rewarded with some of the best riding on the mountain. And I mean, everyone should know this on powder days. The first stop is the back bowl. Sun up bowl, sun down bowl. Those zones get tracked out insanely fast. And if you keep pushing further out toward Blue Sky Basin, you'll still find tons of pockets of untouched snow way longer than you'd expect. And the trees in Blue Sky hold powder really well too. So even when the bowls start getting chopped up, and especially this season it's been happening a lot, you can duck into the trees and keep finding soft turns. And that leads us kind of into the elephant of the room about why I'm even making this video. Lift ticket prices at Vail this season have been wild. Walk-up day tickets have hit around $356 for a single day, which is half my season pass. And honestly, if you're paying that price just to ride the front side groomers all day, it's not worth it. There are plenty of other resorts in Colorado where you can ride great terrain for way less money. I just want to put out like Monarch or Ski Cooper. But Vail starts making a lot more sense when you actually explore the mountain. If you're riding the back bowls or spending time in Blue Sky Basin and putting in miles and seeing what the whole mountain has to offer, then it might actually feel like you're getting what you paid for. I still think $356 is crazy, but the thing is, Vail isn't really about one or two runs, it's about the scale of the mountain. And part of the reason lift tickets are so crazy expensive is actually intentional right now. According to them, basically price day tickets high to encourage people to buy the epic pass before the season starts. It's a strategy to get people committed early rather than relying on day ticket sales. I saw a post the other day about a guy coming from the UK, and he was spending like $300 a day for a 4 or 5 day trip. If he had bought the pass, he actually would have saved money despite the fact he didn't use it all season. And they're even trying things like the Epic Friend tickets you might see on your app, where pass holders can get friends 50% off tickets. So yeah, the pricing structure is definitely designed around passes now, which is why day tickets can feel brutal if you're just visiting for a single day. And I also want to say, with those crazy prices, it's important to know that the mountain is sitting at about 60% of the average snowpack, which explains why some areas are riding better than others. If you're going to be up here and pay those prices, go where the snow is. The good news is that the storm did drop a 10-inch refresh earlier this week, which really helped conditions. Most lifts are open and almost all the trails are open, and the powder we rode in Blue Sky Basin will probably hold up for quite a while. However, there's some sad stuff. For the next week or two, the storm track is mostly staying north of Colorado, which has been happening all season, which means we're expecting mostly dry weather and partly sunny days. There are a couple of small chances for snow though. One system could clip the mountains Tuesday night into Wednesday, bringing a chance for a few flakes and cooler temps, times. And then there's another small system that might slide through Sunday into Monday, maybe dropping a little snow, but overall it's shaping up to be more spring style riding with firm snow in the morning and softening conditions by late morning or midday, and temperatures warming up as we move deeper into March, which is a shame because there isn't much snow on the mountain to actually melt, so it's going to be gone pretty fast. That being said, if you're planning on going to Vail this season or even in a future season, my biggest advice is simple. Don't just ride the front side. Take time to explore. Ride the back bowls and push all the way out to Blue Sky Basin, because once you get out there, you start to understand why this mountain is so legendary. And if you happen to catch a 10-inch powder day like we did, it gets even better. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, do drop me a like, comment, subscribe. It helps out the channel. But until next time, everyone, keep hitting the trails, and I'll see you out there.